When the lights go down, the truth comes out.
Tucker, you are not the father. This has to be wrong!
After Hours with Alex Stein. No filter.
If it was okay to have anal sex.
No apologies.
You were talking about things that probably you shouldn't talk about.
The undisputed king of trolling.
I finally had my own show! At one point, your ancestors owned slaves.
They tried to cancel us.
Deplatforming works.
She wants to kill babies, but she's still beautiful. Look at that booty on AOC. That's my favorite big booty Latina.
Politics, culture, hypocrisy.
They want them to have their penises cut off.
Uncensored and uncontrolled.
Cut your penis off, actually.
That's what I'm saying. They admit they want to cut people's penises off.
Late night just got dangerous. After Hours with your host, Alex Stein, starts right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to After Hours with Alex Stein. I'm your host, Alejandro Stein, and you're watching this right on Real America's Voice. And I know it's late at night, and I always need to pick me up around this time of the day or evening for that matter. And what I like to use is, I like to use a legal alternative. I don't want to go to jail, but I have something that is barely legal. And I'm not talking about the Epstein files. I'm talking about this incredibly delicious energy drink called Soldier Fuel. And that's singular, so no sharing allowed. They need to get their own Soldier Fuel, one soldier at a time. And Primetime 99 Alex Stein, even though I'm not technically a military veteran, I am a soldier. I'm a soldier in the People's Army, and that's who I'm here to defend every single day with this show. So this is how I like to start my evening off, is if I don't have any, something to make me feel good, I have something that'll keep me awake. So this is what I like to do. I like to just do a little, wow. I hope people aren't seeing this. There's no liquid on the expensive monitors. It's waterproof. All this stuff is waterproof, so we should be good. So I just go like this. Ah! Damn, I'm fueled up now. Woo! That's how you should drink it if you're not, a communist. So let me try to clean up some of the mess that I made. But that is so delicious. I'm not just saying that because, I want you to buy it. It actually tastes good. 0 sugar, so it's not going to mess up all of your dietary restrictions. I know you're trying to lose weight. I know you're trying to get laid and get paid, just like the Prime Time 99 Alex Stein. Oh, I'm spilling a little more. Let me finish it off. That's what I'm talking about. That gives me all the fuel I need to host this show. And it takes a lot. It takes a lot. Because last night, as you guys have probably seen, I'm going viral, as usual. Pimp on a Blimp was on Timcast IRL, where I brutally beanie mogged Tim Pool with my USA beanie. I just want to show you this. So Tim was brutally beanie mogged by the Pimp on a Blimp. And I want to play this clip shouting out the show. I know we have a lot of new viewers that are watching the show because of my appearance last night. So I just want to show some love to everybody here at Real America's Voice. It's been such an honor and privilege to work here for this short time. And I love the people that I work with. It's a true family business, and that's the attitude that I like. I don't like all this corporate media garbage. So let's play the first clip from Timcast last night. Very well, but my point is, look at the pizzazz, look at the patriotism mine shows.
You're what are you? You're hosting a new show or something?
After Hours with Alex Stein and Real America's Voice. It's incredible. So they got a great DC studio. I filmed my show there. It airs tonight, right after this show. And
Wait, you're based in DC now?
No, but I was just using their studio because I came on your show. Actually, they built me a studio in Dallas. They do it all remote. It's really great. I love Parker and Robert Sig. They own the company. Parker's Robert's son, and he's like, it's a real family-owned business.
That's great. Great to hear.
It's good.
Well,
a lot of people work
always glad to have a serious intellect to come on the show. We're always looking forward to your keen insights and serious.
How they're eating babies and how they're eating children. And you laughed at me. You laughed at my jerky sleuthing that I found through Asmongold, who has millions of views. But it doesn't matter. They are literally eating the flesh of humans. And I don't think it's a joke. And so I was right about Pizzagate. I mean, they're all doing child sex trafficking. They called us crazy in 2016. I called into Howard Stern's show. He's like, oh, you're wrong. You're wrong. Boom. I was.
Did he apologize to you?
No, he should. He owes me an apology. You can look that clip up anywhere. But
did he quit or is he still around?
He's still around, but he only does.
This has got to stop.
2 days a week. And he's supposed So it was nice to shout out the entire crew, and especially Robert and Parker Sig, who I really respect. But this Alad guy that was trying to play devil's advocate and defend a pedophile like Jeffrey Epstein, it just blows my mind. And there's actually more of these people. Like, Alad is not by himself. But if you go through the comment section, you know, everybody's on my side. I'm the pimp on a blimp. But I want to play the clip that, you know, really just got him so upset. He went and reached out this morning to Tim to get this clip taken down from their social media. They had this social media guy delete this clip. Actually, let's play shot number 2, and then we'll get the comments so people know how big of a baby back biatch this Alad Aluhu guy is. And, you know, come to find out, actually, before we play the clip, I'm like, why is this guy starting all this static with me? I mean, I don't understand. I thought we were kind of friendly. Come to find out, he's Indian. Yes, so he's a brown Indian guy, and he's mad at me because I called out Plano, Texas for becoming like Mumbai, India. So there's always an ulterior motive with these people. And when you're he's a secret leftist. And I hate to use that because people are like, oh, you know, really at the end of the day, I want to be part of a populist movement that has both sides underneath that umbrella. But this guy is totally libtarded, and he's brown. So I think that says all you need to know. So let's play this clip.
So, I mean, it just looks like it's obvious that they're doing stuff to kids. We knew this. And then when you talk about the child porn, that's the one thing I think Pam Bondi's told the truth about, saying that there was a ton of child porn, and that's why it took so long for them to unredact them so we could see them. So, yes, if you think that, you know, it's just bad that they were raping kids, I don't know if I should say that word, sorry. They were doing a lot worse with CP and trading that like a currency. It's disgusting, but we all know it's true.
Let's add an allegedly to that. One of my issues with
What's allegedly?
Everything he just said.
They're trading child CP? You don't think they're trading CP?
Who's they?
Like Epstein to...
Whoa, hold on. Pam Bondi said they were.
Yeah, Pam Bondi said that they had CP.
I think tons of it, and that's why they weren't going to release the files.
That's exactly what she said.
I think when it comes to the Epstein files, people are running fast and loose with the truth. And that's why people like CNBC feel the need to say that being part of the release of thousands of documents and photos does not imply any wrongdoing. Because if you were even referenced in the files, it's a guilt by association. And it feels as though there's a witch hunt. Some would argue more deservedly so. Obviously, everybody who is accused or involved in any child abuse should be, charged and indicted and charged to the fullest extent of the law. But I feel like the threshold for that evidence has become lower and lower.
Let me get.
Wait. There's one more thing I want to add to that.
I play devil's advocate all the time. I'm just surprised that this is the topic that you would like to play devil's advocate on.
And I'm still surprised. I don't understand why Alad is mad at the American people for putting 2 and 2 together. And yes, of course, people can interact with Jeffrey Epstein. That doesn't make everybody that he interacted with a pedophile. But when you look at these emails and you look at the coded language, and then you look at all of the denigration of anybody that said Pizzagate was potentially real, and come to find out, there are very powerful people that are using their wealth to traffic children. That is not just a right-wing conspiracy. So the fact that Alad is playing devil's advocate for a convicted pedophile blows my mind. But he's doing it because I don't know who's paying him. Tim pays him, but Tim should fire him. Alad gets no motion whatsoever. He doesn't even go to his job at the White House. He's supposed to go there every single day. He goes like once every 2 weeks and maybe asks one question. And all of his questions are basically about a foreign country. They're not even about America's interests. So Alad is a shill. He has, no patriotism whatsoever, because when it comes to who does he care about more, America or a foreign country, he cares more about a foreign country. And I think that's obvious. You can just look at his timeline of all the questions he asked. But, he got brutally frame-mogged and truth-mogged by the pimp on a blimp. And the comments reflected that. Let's go through some of these comments so we can show how horribly he performed last night. So, what does this one say? I could see it a little bigger. Yeah, Alad questioning whether or not they're eating babies is normal. But questioning everything, including things that were already confirmed by the DOJ, is weird. That's what I'm saying. So he was getting mad at us for, I guess, speculating and sensationalizing it a little bit. But I don't know how you can over-sensationalize the fact that Bill Clinton is on the private Lolita Express 27 times. I mean, it's really not that sensational. Like, everything about it is sensational. So the idea that we're going to try to put two and two together and that makes us the bad guys. No, you're the bad guy, Alad, and you're the brown guy in the room. And that's probably why you hate me, because you see me, I'm 6'3", I'm tall, I'm handsome, I'm smart, I'm well-spoken. You don't like that because I defeat all of your arguments. So you had to just kind of attack me, you had to attack and call me stupid because you don't have a good argument, because you look like an idiot defending a pedophile. So Alad defends Epstein like Tim defends gambling. Well, to be fair, Tim does like to gamble. And, so I think that is probably maybe partially true. And then what's the next comment? Let's see what else I said. I'm suspicious of Alad now. Didn't really care for him before, but he's very defensive of the Epstein files. I just don't understand. Why are you personally butthurt from people putting two and two together, or even, coming up with some conspiracies? Whether or not every single conspiracy is true, that's not what is important. Is that we need to create not an echo chamber. We need to create a country where the First Amendment is the most important thing and we can speak freely and we don't have to worry about homosexual brown guys like Alad trying to demonize us for looking into the official story and not believing it. So these people like Alad that want to make this narrative that Epstein wasn't that bad and that they weren't doing satanic ritualistic abuse to kids and that basically it was just a vacation time and they were just having a good time on an island, you're disgusting, and that makes you a pedophile apologist in my eyes. So really and truly, Alad, I don't understand why you'd play devil's advocate on this unless you were basically a Satanist yourself. And you might be. I mean, that mustache is gay. You're gay. And I hope Tim does fire you. And every single time that I talk to Tim, I will reiterate how meaningless and how inconsequential you are to Tim Pool and his brand, and how you really only bring his brand down because you got no motion. Nobody knows who you are. You have access to some of the most influential people in the world. And you've never had a clip get more than a few 100,000 views. And usually your clips don't even get that. So you're a loser, you're a scumbag, and you're brown. And that's why you got to go down. So, Alad, you took the L last night. You need to just take the E out of your name and just put a big L-A-D. That's how they should spell your name. All right, guys, coming up next, the pimp on a blimp is right again. Another transgender shooter sadly killed one of his children and his wife at a hockey rink in front of hundreds of people. It's just one of the most disturbing things that's happened in a while. Coming up next, we're going to get into it.
Real America's Voice is growing, and now it's all in one place. Introducing the new and improved RAV app, built for access, community, and choice, not paywalls. Here's the key. RAV is still free to watch. No sign-in, no membership required. Your favorite live streams, breaking coverage, and video on demand are all right there. Free, just like always.
For the War Room Posse, we have to be a force multiplier on this. We have to stick the landing.
In the White House, in the Oval Office, you're crushing it, my friend.
And if you want more, the members section is your backstage pass. Get exclusive behind-the-scenes photos and videos, insider moments from the studio and the field, and early access to new content before it goes public. Members can also unlock special experiences like virtual meet and greets, member-only auctions, and select event access. Plus, commercial-free viewing of certain shows inside the app. It's not just an app, it's a community. Download the RAV app today. Find it in the App Store and Google Play.
Hey folks, it's your friend John Rich. I co-founded Old Glory Bank because we heard too many stories about people getting canceled by their bank because they didn't agree with their politics. The government wanted to know where you shop. If you bought a Bible or you shopped at a sporting goods store, you're probably on a list. We created Old Glory Bank because America needed a bank that would protect their privacy and security. Exercising your constitutional rights is not a criminal activity, and neither is loving your country. At Old Glory Bank, we stand with you.
I'm a J6er. I spent 1,143 days in prison.
About a year in prison.
We were prosecuted, persecuted.
J6ers have been treated like terrorists.
And we need your help.
Stand in the Gap was founded to stand in the gap for J6ers working to rebuild their lives after being incarcerated.
For just $10 or more, you can help these patriots get back on their feet again. Every dollar you give is being matched up to $50,000. Go now to j6support.com and donate today.
This is Tim King, also known as USS Malik, and I love Real America's Voices for its like-minded programming and the chat. Love you guys.
Hi, my name's Paul Foyer. I'm Foyer04 in the Getter Chat. I love rap for all the Getter, all the War Room Posse, and all of you guys. Love y'all. Bye.
Florida Sun Goddess here. Let me tell you why I love rap. They let my voice be heard. They give me a platform for community so I don't feel alone. Thanks so much. God bless.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to After Hours with Alex Stein. Tonight, we have to talk about a plague that is happening all over the world. And it's not the bubonic plague. It is the transgender shooter plague. And I hate to be right about this, but I think if you look at the last 8 mass shootings or public shootings, 7 of them identified as transgender. So I'm starting to notice a pattern. But the same pattern is not noticed by mainstream media outlets like NBC, who's refusing to say that Robert Dorgan, who transitioned to Roberta Esposito, was a man. That's right. For the mainstream media, they're not saying that this was a transgender shooter. I don't understand. They love to tell you that it's a white guy. They love to say, oh, it's a white guy. It's a normal white guy. They're the first to tell you if it's a white guy. But if it's anybody other than a white guy that does one of these shootings, you'll never find out from them. You have to do your own research. You got to go on X. You got to go on Instagram. You got to go on the internet and do your own research. And I really encourage everybody to do their own research when it comes to any news story, because if people like NBC can't admit that we have a transgender violence problem in our country, then they're not going to tell you the truth about anything else. You don't really have to be a scientist to figure this out. When you have a person that is on all kinds of hormones and they don't value their own life, they're willing to cut off their genitals so that they can embarrass their family and be ostracized by society, they really, truly do not care about anybody else then. And it shows you with the lack of care for their penis. Like, if you don't care about your penis, you're not going to care about your wife. You're not going to care about your son. Somebody willingly cutting their genitals off is so mentally ill. They really should be locked up in some sort of facility. So this Robert Dorgan guy, let's show a picture of him, went to a hockey ring in, Pawtucket, Rhode Island, and decided that it would be in his best interest to kill his wife and one of his children. Once again, this is going to continue to happen because we are enabling mental illness. This needs to stop. And if a man in a dress walks into a gun store and somebody sells him a gun, we should hold that person accountable. Let's look at one of his tweets. What did Robert tweeted? He's allegedly, now the media is trying to paint him out to be a Trump supporter because he said that the 2020 election was stolen. So maybe if you guys didn't steal that election, then he wouldn't have gone insane and became a transgender. So I actually blame Joe Biden for a lot of this shooting because he's radicalized people. And, you know, you look at January 6th, everybody knew that election was not legit. And then you get everybody to go to Washington, D.C. on January 6th, and you have agent provocateurs, and you ruin thousands of people's lives all for protesting an election that they thought was fraudulent. So this guy decided not to go to January 6th. He decided to get gender reassignment surgery and embarrass his whole entire family. And that was not enough. The shame that his kids face in school every day, he decided he wanted to end their lives. It's an issue that I don't think is going to stop. So let's play this first clip about Robert. So not only does he shoot his family, but he's doing this at a popular hockey game. And to me, the most egregious thing out of all of this is that Robert Dorgan didn't just transition to Roberta. He actually changed his last name to Esposito. So this guy is so mentally ill, he's not only trying to transition to a woman, he's trying to transition to a Mexican. And if that is the case, I would have still fought for amnesty because obviously Roberta is a big booty Latina, but that's neither here nor there. I want to separate my causes when it comes to amnesty for big booty Latinas, because even though you're an inauthentic big booty Latina, I think that we need more people trying to be big booty Latinas. So in that sense, I kind of respected and supported Roberta. But in the sense that a guy can become a girl, you're literally retarded. And they did studies that the majority of people that identify as transgender or non-binary are actually diagnosed autistic. I know, you can fact check that all you want. So we have a system that enables mental illness. Instead of telling somebody that they're wrong and that they are either a boy or girl, we trick people into thinking that they're in the wrong body, and that's evil. Because, of course, the healthcare system loves when somebody has gender dysphoria and they identify as the opposite sex, because now they have a lifelong patient. So people are making money from this mental illness instead of actually trying to stop it, and families are going to continue to get shot. Now, this is a clip that's going viral of Roberta, the big booty Latina transgender, shooting his family. And if you can see right there in the middle of the screen, he stands up and then, bam, starts shooting his wife, and sadly killed his wife and one of his children. I mean, you can see the Good Samaritans that fought back. And once they fought back, allegedly he took another gun out and he blew his brains out. So he's a coward. And we're never going to get any retribution. And now his wife is dead. A whole community is shocked. And all for what? So this guy can be a weird pervert. And that's what this is. It's called autogynephilia. Like, this is a sexual perversion that this person has. He's getting sexual satisfaction from embarrassing his family and wearing these women's clothes. And what's so ridiculous about it, too, is that Roberta, I'm saying that in quotes, quote unquote, Roberta, not only would dress like a woman, but would dress like a slutty woman. I don't understand that. Showing the fake cleavage, thinking that there's some sort of hot babe. If you're going to be a woman, at least be a respectable woman, at least dress like a mom. And it's just so obvious that Robert is not a woman and is just a sick person. I mean, his own daughter was interviewed after the shooting and said, yeah, that was my dad, and he is really sick. So I feel horrible for the family that survived, because their lives are never going to be the same. Their lives are basically ruined. And now we're going to have mainstream media outlets like NBC not admit that we have a transgender shooter problem in America. I mean, I think it's obvious. So if you're a gun store owner and a guy walks in a dress or female clothes, do not sell him a gun. Do not. He's not going hunting. He's not going out there to kill a deer and get some venison. He's probably going to shoot somebody at a public event, at a children's hockey game, at his family reunion. God knows where he's going to attack, but we know that it is just a ticking time bomb if a person is transgender and they have access to guns. But I think that there's actually a conspiracy surrounding this. I think that the government likes when these transgenders shoot up schools and shoot up high school hockey games, because they want to take away the Second Amendment. So they're going to make a bunch of mentally ill people go out there and cause all kinds of crazy violence, so that conservatives that are pro 2A will put in exceptions and say, well, now a transgender person can't have a gun. And they'll be able to extrapolate that to other people. Then they're going to have more red flag laws. And then next thing you know, you're not going to be able to have a gun if you're just white. And I know that sounds far-fetched, but I say it on the show all the time. Reality is stranger than fiction. So we're going down a slippery slope where they're going to try to use all of the transgender violence that's happening in America as an excuse to take away our ability to own guns. So do not let that happen. If somebody else, one of the Good Samaritans, had a gun there, they would have been able to neutralize them quicker. But still, this is all just a game where they want more violence. They want more division. They want people scared. And I think you should be. If you're in a room and there's a 6'3" guy that's on steroids, that's wearing a dress, I would get out of that room. I would literally leave, because you never know what's going to happen, because these people are impulsive. So impulsive, they're willing to cut off their genitals. So impulsive, they're willing to embarrass their kids. I mean, could you imagine being a kid and having to go to school after your dad transitioned as an adult to a woman? Think about the bullying and shame that you would feel unnecessarily, because you don't get to choose your parents. So if this guy had any respect for his kids, he wouldn't have put his family through that. But it just shows that he doesn't respect his family at all. He killed one of his own children. Nothing in my mind is more evil than that. I mean, the father killing the kid. It's bad when the kid kills the father. Don't get me wrong, Nick Reiner, that's horrible. But there's just something even more evil to me about a parent killing a kid, because the parent is supposed to be the leader. The parent is supposed to be the smart one, the normal one, the role model for his children. And it's just clear that this is a mentally ill person that didn't respect his own life, so he took the lives of his own family in a very public setting because he wanted to be famous. And now, Roberta Esposito, Robert Dorgan, you're going to be famous. You're going to be real famous, but not in a good way. You're going to go down in the annals of history as an evil, sick, degenerate loser that we all wish perished before this incident in a countless of ways. I wish you were in a car accident. I wish anything happened to you before this happened, because your poor child and your wife had to go through the embarrassment of being related to you. And now they have to deal with a brother and sister dead, a mom dead, and a dad dead. So they lost both of their parents. We live in an evil world. It's absolutely disgusting. But coming up next, we'll bring on President Donald Trump to get his opinion on this transgender shooting problem that's happening in America. I'm telling you, you guys don't want to miss it.
Real America's Voice is growing, and now it's all in one place. Introducing the new and improved RAV app, built for access, community, and choice, not paywalls. Here's the key. RAV is still free to watch. No sign-in, no membership required. Your favorite live streams, breaking coverage, and video on demand are all right there. Free, just like always.
For the War Room Posse, we have to be a force multiplier on this. We have to stick the landing.
In the White House, in the Oval Office, you're crushing it, my friend.
And if you want more, the members section is your backstage pass. Get exclusive behind-the-scenes photos and videos, insider moments from the studio and the field, and early access to new content before it goes public. Members can also unlock special experiences like virtual meet and greets, member-only auctions, and select event access. Plus, commercial-free viewing of certain shows inside the app. It's not just an app, it's a community. Download the RAV app today. Find it in the App Store and Google Play.
Welcome to Real America's Voice, Real Minute. Your quick look at the powerful stories of faith and freedom, inspiring audiences across the nation. Angel Studios presents.
I'm Bo Davidson with this Real America's Voice, Real Minute. Most people know the biblical story of David, the shepherd boy who fought Goliath and became king. Well, Angel Studios has created a new animated film called David that tells the story of Israel's greatest king.
Followed when I'm looking for the way, when I'm searching for the answer, in the moments I'm afraid. There's a whisper in the wind and a story in the sky, when I'm looking for a lantern to illuminate the night. If you want the secret of freedom and feeling alive, you gotta follow the light. Follow the light.
For those who love great animated classics like The Lion King and Prince of Egypt, David is an awe-inspiring animated musical that depicts David as a spirited boy who fought lions, giants, and even betrayal, depicting how one boy's faith could lead him to be king of Israel. David will be released in theaters just in time for Christmas on December 19th. But your family can get a head start by watching the prequel to the film, Young David, which is streaming exclusively right now on Angel. It's perfect for the entire family and has memorable music. So once you join the Angel Guild, you can start watching Young David right now and prepare the fam for the David film in theaters in December. And by joining the Guild, you'll guarantee 2 free tickets to see it. And it's a great value. Let's be honest, going to the movies isn't all that cheap. But if you're a member of the Angel Guild, not only do you get those 2 free tickets to David, but you'll now have access to every single film or TV series on Angel at your convenience.
Welcome back to After Hours on Real America's Voice.
Thank you guys for watching After Hours with Alex Stein on Real America's Voice, and we have an incredible guest on the phone. You know him as the 45th President of the United States and the 47th President of the United States. The one, the only, President Donald J. Trump. President Trump, you got me. Thank you for joining After Hours. We really appreciate it.
Mr. Stein, it's always a pleasure to be with you, and obviously we're going to set ratings record now that I'm on your show.
No doubt about it, but sadly, we have to talk about something negative. I want to talk about how great of a job you're doing, but in the news right now, another transgender shooter took the life of his own child and his wife. Why do you think we have such a problem when it comes to violence in regards to transgenders shooting up random people and people that they know?
Well, you know, it's very sad, and a lot of this started with Barack Hussein Obama, okay? He started this whole trans movement, and it's really gotten worse and worse, and we need more mental institutions, insane asylums, because these are sick puppies we're dealing with. It's really sad. It's really unfortunate, and, you know, Alex, we're going to build a big, beautiful wall on the northern border, and all the trans are going to pay for it. How does that sound?
That sounds like a good idea, and they all have insurance. I mean, I feel like they all are able to afford all these transgender surgeries when we have so many people that can't afford their diabetes medicine or they can't afford their rent. So it's funny how they have all this extra money to have these expensive surgeries. Now, President Trump, you've outlawed biological men from competing against women in sports. I think that's incredible. But I'm kind of worried. Are you guys contemplating the idea of maybe outlawing transgenders from owning guns? I know that has been a rumor for a long time, but is there any, you know, validity to those claims?
Excuse me, there's a lot of validity. You know, nobody's a bigger supporter of the Second Amendment than me, believe me, okay? If Kamala had gotten elected, you wouldn't even have a Second Amendment, but we've got to put an end to this. These are sick people, these trans shooters. And it's really sad. And I do think we should create a new state. Actually, we should take Southern California, okay, which is a real nasty place right now, and turn it into Transylvania. And that's where we'll put all the trans people.
That's actually brilliant, President Trump. I'm not just saying that. They need to have Transylvania, and then they know, oh, look, this is my community. They're safe. And if they do a shooting, at least they shoot other transgender people, so we're not going to have to worry too much. Now, President Trump, speaking of transgenders, AOC is a big supporter of transgenders. You know, she's getting a big push right now. Are you threatened at all that she might become the nominee for the Democrats as a vice president or even presidential candidate and have to battle your boy?
Excuse me. AOC is no threat at all. As you know, Alex, the only threat she poses is her BBL. She's a big booty Latina. Is that what they call them? A big booty Latina. I've heard you say that phrase many times. And she does pose a big threat with the big booties. You know, they say that Melania's actually got a nicer booty than AOC, but we're not worried about AOC at all. She's a nasty woman. She's a loser, and she'll get beat so badly. I actually hope the radical Democrats let her run because she'll get beat so badly.
I hope so, too. But I'm telling you, people are, you know, they have a sympathetic spot in their heart for big booty Latinas. I think she's a bigger threat than you might even think. I hope I'm wrong, but I'm just telling you, people universally love big booty Latinas. Now, I want to ask you something. You have not endorsed Dan Crenshaw and his congressional run against Steve Toth. What's that all about? Are you anti-Dan? Because, you know, Eye Patch McCain and I do not get along, so I'm hoping that you're on my side of history when it comes to Dan Crenshaw, Eye Patch McCain.
Well, we'll see. You know, he said a lot of nasty things. He said some very questionable things. We get along fine, but I know he's treated you very unfairly. And anyone that treats Alex Stein unfairly is somebody who I cannot be friends with. So we're going to look into that very closely. I will be making an announcement on who I'm endorsing very soon. That I can tell you. But eye patch is not looking good right now.
That's freaking music to my ears. That is so good to hear. Now, President Trump, you're famous because you love Diet Coke. I love Diet Coke too, but I've been drinking this alternative here at RAV. We're sponsored by Soldier Fuel. It is delicious. It's 0 calorie. Do you drink any energy drinks by chance, President Trump?
Excuse me. You know, people say, sir, how do you have so much energy? Because I've got the most perfect blood work in the history of our country. Bobby Kennedy can't even believe it. He says, sir, how do you do it? And I'm fueled by those McDonald's fries, which are cooked in Venezuelan oil, and lots and lots of Diet Coke and some Kofifi. But I might give that energy drink a shot. That really sounds tremendous.
Well, here, let me show you how I administer it. I like to do it pure shotgun style because I don't want to waste time. You know, I'm a busy man just like you are. And it goes down so smooth. I like to crack it open like this. And then I just, I don't want to cut my lips. So you got to make a big hole. That's what she said. And then Soldier Fuel! I want to go fight a battle. I want to go to the Iraq War. President Trump, I think I'm ready for you to invade Iran. So what's the latest with that? Are we going to start bombing
them? Alex, we're looking into that very closely. Bomb, 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 Iran. It's a great song, one of the best.
Bomb, 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 Iran. Wow, President Trump, that is genius. Wait, we need to play that on every major radio station. Bomb, 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 Iran. I freaking love. You're the best, President Trump. How did you figure that out? You're the smartest human being in the history of mankind. How are you so brilliant? How do you come up with these things that are so catchy?
Marketing genius. Okay, marketing genius. We don't know. They say nobody's got better DNA than me. Believe me. And by the way, Alex, with all that energy you have, you might actually be my next Secretary of Health. Next Secretary of Health. How does that sound?
Well, can I be President of Health? Secretary kind of sounds gay. I don't want to be, the accusations that I'm gay. Is there something more masculine? Secretary, I don't know if is that good? I don't know how
we're going to look into that very quickly and very easily. That's right. You're a marketing genius too. Not as good as me, but pretty good.
No way, President Trump. I'll never be as good as you. Now, President Trump, before you go, I do want to ask you a hard question. Pam Bondi is being, critiqued pretty hard by saying during the Epstein, congressional hearing that the Dow Jones is above 50,000. People thought that was insensitive. So is Pam Bondi on the chopping block after midterms? That's what a lot of people are speculating, Mr. President.
Excuse me. Bondi's on a lot of blocks right now. She's on thin ice, too. Thin ice. But we love Bondi. I call her the blonde Gandhi because she is really a smart cookie, very high IQ. But, she happens to be right. The Dow actually is on pace to hit 1 billion. It's on pace. That's billion with a B by next year at this time. So she happened to be right about that. But we're going to look at all sorts of things. And nobody's been more transparent than me. Believe me.
Well, I think that is true. But people are speculating all kinds of things with these Epstein files. So can you give us the real dope? Was Epstein, connected with anybody in your cabinet? Because people are making those accusations. I obviously don't think they're true, but can you tell us the real truth in regards to
a lot of fake news, lots of fake news. Nancy Pelosi was implicated in the files, they say. Bill Clinton, we know, is in there like 1 billion times. Hillary, obviously. Even Sleepy Joe made an appearance. So, it's all fake news. It's a lot of fake news, but a lot of radical libs that are in the files, and we're going to get to the bottom of it very quickly and very easily. Believe me, China.
Well, President Trump, though, there was a Daily Mail article that came out that the guards at the prison said that they used a decoy to trick the media when they got rid of Jeffrey Epstein's body. And so people are speculating that Jeffrey Epstein could still be alive and that he didn't kill himself. So can you confirm or deny whether or not Jeffrey Epstein killed himself?
That's called fake news. That's called fake news on Real America's Voice, okay? I can confirm that Epstein is dead, just like Sleepy Joe.
What? Sleepy Joe's dead? I thought, wait, time out, TV time out. I thought Sleepy Joe's alive, President Trump. Did you just reveal something monumental on the show?
Well, that's breaking news right there. Sleepy Joe is no longer with us.
Oh, my gosh. Rest in peace. Wait, can we play like a sad sound effect? R.I.P. Sleepy Joe Biden. Well, I guess we don't have one. Well, President Trump, before you go, I just want to say you are the best Trump impersonator in the game. Can you tell the people that are watching at home, because, you know, we're going to clip this. I hope they do believe it. We're going to have to blank out where the director put parody. I'm so mad at him. But, Josh, you're such a good impressionist. Can you tell us, like, you know, how are you able to do this so well? Are you just naturally talented, or do you have to practice?
Yeah, well, you know, this is my real neutral-sounding voice. I do a number of impressions, including Joe Biden and a bunch of others. So just a lot of practice. And I practice at the drive-thru. I go through the McDonald's and Dunkin' Donuts drive-thrus as President Trump and Joe Biden.
Do they like that? Or I would be worried that they might spit in my food. You know what I mean? You know, especially if you're Joe Biden, you're probably going to definitely spit in your food. They really don't like it.
Yeah, sometimes I go to the Dunkin' drive-thru and I say, hey, folks, I'd like to order a Nathan's hot dog, please. Come on, man. Give me a break. You know, the thing was the thing, and then the thing. You do the hokey pokey. Turn yourself around.
You're the man, Josh. Well, thank you, President Trump. I really appreciate you giving us some inside baseball regarding this transgender shooting problem, as well as, you know, what's going on with the Epstein files. Thank you for being so candid and being the most transparent president that we've ever had in America.
Well, thank you very much, Alex. Your show's doing tremendous, and keep up the great work.
Well, it's doing a lot better now that we got you. So have a good one. Thank you, President Trump, a.k.a. Josh Rosen. Everybody go follow Josh Rosen on X. What's your X, Josh? Well, if he's already gone. I think his X is at the bottom. Go follow him. He also does Skip Bayless. He does a bunch of great impressions. Josh Rosen is literally one of the top guys in the game. All right, guys, coming up next, we got a bunch of clips about a transgender that said they're on their period. We got clips of a bunch of crazy stuff. You don't want to miss it. Coming up next.
Real America's Voice is growing, and now it's all in one place. Introducing the new and improved RAV app, built for access, community, and choice, not paywalls. Here's the key. RAV is still free to watch. No sign-in, no membership required. Your favorite live streams, breaking coverage, and video on demand are all right there. Free, just like always.
For the War Room Posse, we have to be a force multiplier on this. We have to stick the landing.
In the White House, in the Oval Office, you're crushing it, my friend.
And if you want more, the members section is your backstage pass. Get exclusive behind-the-scenes photos and videos, insider moments from the studio and the field, and early access to new content before it goes public. Members can also unlock special experiences like virtual meet and greets, member-only auctions, and select event access, plus commercial-free viewing of certain shows inside the app. It's not just an app, it's a community. Download the RAV app today. Find it in the App Store and Google Play.
Welcome to Real America's Voice, Real Minute. Your quick look at the powerful stories of faith and freedom, inspiring audiences across the nation. Angel Studios presents.
I'm Bo Davidson with this Real America's Voice, Real Minute. Most people know the biblical story of David, the shepherd boy who fought Goliath and became king. Well, Angel Studios has created a new animated film called David that tells the story of Israel's greatest king.
There's a light I've always followed when I'm looking for the way, when I'm searching for the answer. In the moments I'm afraid, there's a whisper in the wind and a story in the sky. When I'm looking for a lantern to illuminate the night. If you want the secret of freedom and feeling alive, you gotta follow the light. Follow the light.
For those who love great animated classics like The Lion King and Prince of Egypt, David is an awe-inspiring animated musical that depicts David as a spirited boy who fought lions, giants, and even betrayal, depicting how one boy's faith could lead him to be king of Israel. David will be released in theaters just in time for Christmas on December 19th, but your family can get a head start by watching the prequel to the film, Young David, which is streaming exclusively right now on Angel. It's perfect for the entire family and has memorable music. So once you join the Angel Guild, you can start watching Young David right now and prepare the fam for the David film in theaters in December. And by joining the Guild, you'll guarantee 2 free tickets to see it. And it's a great value. Let's be honest, going to the movies isn't all that cheap. But if you're a member of the Angel Guild, not only do you get those 2 free tickets to David, but you'll now have access to every single film or TV series on Angel at your convenience.
Thank you guys for watching this evening. After Hours with Alex Stein on Real America's Voice. Such a pleasure and privilege to get to come to you this evening and just, pontificate about all the madness that's happening in the world. But sadly, I was right again when it comes to transgenders. My Texas Senate hearing speech, I talked about how transgenders would be great in the military because they love to do mass shootings. And I think it's just a representation of where their mind is at. Because these people are desensitized to violence. They want to hurt themselves, so it's obvious that they want to project that pain onto other people. Now, I understand that mental illness is something that's out of people's control sometimes. But to be this mentally ill, we're going to play this clip where a transgender is debating one of my friends, Riley Niemi, it's hard to say his last name, but he is my buddy. And this transgender person is so delusional that they literally said that they have their period. Let's play the clip.
Fun fact, trans women also get periods.
Really?
Yes.
You get a period?
Yes, I get monthly cycles.
You get monthly cycles. So the lining of your uterine wall is falling apart and draining. Your uterine wall.
See, this is the fun part. Due to not having a uterus, the weird part is I still get the cramps, but I just don't get the. Are
you sure it's just not from Lupron messing with your body?
What?
I said, are you sure it's just not the Lupron messing with your body?
No, it's an actual period.
You don't think so?
Yeah, I got the full-on emotional cycles and everything.
Yeah, but you're saying you have a period, though.
I do, yes.
But you don't have any blood leaving you. There's no thinning of the uterine lining, which is what a period is. And some of the results of a period are cramping.
Yes.
So you have similar symptoms to a period, but you don't have a period at all. You have no period because you're a man.
See, Riley just nailed it. That transgender person is obviously retarded. You can tell by the way that they have that speech impediment. They're like, blah, 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 with their tongue is stuck in their mouth. So that is a mentally ill person that is being enabled probably by their family members or by a doctor. And they honestly think that they have a period because all of a sudden they get cramps from probably drinking too much Mountain Dew and doing Lord knows what on the internet. But this is a serious problem. And I'm not trying to label that person as being violent. But if that person walked into a gun store and somebody sold them a gun, the gun dealer should be in jail because that is a person that is so out of touch with reality, they can't tell up from down. They can't tell right from left. A man cannot have a period. And that really, it just demonizes all of these women that actually have their period as if you have the same struggle as them because you have a cramp occasionally. So this is a mental illness problem, and I don't think medication is going to fix it. Donald Trump, who was just on the phone, is exactly right. We need insane asylums. We need to lock these people up. And they really need re-education camps. I don't know how else to put it, but they need to be educated that a guy cannot become a girl. It's just that simple. It is binary. You're either one or the other. Now, when it comes to Roberta Esposito, I think you could argue that ethnicity is a spectrum. You can have somebody that's half white and half black, but gender is not on a spectrum. It is just boy, girl. And these people think that one can turn into the other. It's absolutely insane, and it's literally retarded. Now, I made a lot of claims about transgender people on this show, and I really, truly, I don't hate anybody in the LGBTQ community, and I don't necessarily hate transgenders. But what I do hate are the people that enable them. And I do hate anybody that would tell a child that they're born in the wrong body, because no kid is born in the wrong body. We're going to play this next clip of a very young boy and his mom enabling this mental illness. And you can even just see in the mannerisms, the way the boy's acting, that they feel uncomfortable and they know that they're being misled by their mother, but they don't want to upset their mom. You know, we all inherently want to make our parents happy. So watching this clip is so incredibly disturbing. It's even more disturbing than the previous clip where we played where a trans person said that they have a period, because this is a quote-unquote healthy mom telling their child that it's okay to be trans. It's just ridiculous. Any good parent would never do this, but this is obviously not a good parent. Let's play the tape.
Hey, hold on. You love it, and you want it, and you picked it out, but you don't want it for school. Can you tell me why?
Because the last time I wore a dress to school, everybody called me a girl.
Oh. Well, what did we learn from My Shadow is Pink?
Even when you wear a dress, you're not a girl.
What makes a shirt for a boy or a girl?
Nothing.
So do you want this? You picked it out.
I do want it.
You want to wear it all the time at home, but not at school, right?
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
I don't want to get made fun of, and that's what they always do when I wear pink stuff.
That mother should be in jail, pressuring their son to wear that dress. The kid knows that when he goes to school, they all call him a girl, and that it's incredibly embarrassing. So you can tell that they're not interested in wearing that to school because they're going to get totally clowned by all their classmates. But this mom is basically pressuring this little boy into wearing this dress so that she can get some sort of, I guess, social status from it. It's similar to all of these celebrities that have multiple transgender kids. No kid is born in the wrong body, but if you continually tell the kid that they're born in the wrong body, you read them books like Out of the Pink Shadow, whatever that book is. And this is why there's such a big fight on the conservative side to outlaw these transgender, sexually explicit books from libraries. Because you're going to say, oh, we learned it in a book, and a kid thinks, oh, well, if it's in a book, then it's probably right. And it's some book written by some retarded homosexual. But we don't need to use books to manipulate kids into thinking that they're born in the wrong body. This is disturbing. It's disgusting. I feel bad for that kid. If I knew who that woman was, I would call CPS myself, because being in that home is going to cause that kid so much depression and anxiety later on in life that she's literally ruining his life before it can even start. And that's what's happening in this country, is we're having parents that are enabling and pressuring these kids to do this so that they can feel special and so that they can get some sort of attention by being the parent of a trans kid. It's insane. And that poor kid is on a journey where it's going to be a very challenging road to go down. And I truly, truly hope somebody has a come to Jesus meeting with that mom, or CPS takes away that kid. And I don't think a kid growing up in a foster home would be better than their biological parent, but I think at a foster home, he would understand social norms probably a little more and would realize, just like he realized at school, a boy wearing a dress is uncool. It's weird. It's bizarre. It's antisocial behavior. And that young kid looks like they're a social butterfly. They look like a nice kid that doesn't want to be ostracized from society. So when it comes to these parents that are telling kids they're born in the wrong body, you deserve the harshest punishment. And I think that is taking away your kids so that you're not able to enable and pressure them to be mentally ill transgender children. It's just ridiculous. All right, guys, this episode we've talked about a lot. We talked about transgenders, but we started off talking about Alad, who I later found out the reason why he was coming at me all sideways is because he's Indian. And I love Indians. I'm not even anti-Indian. I like the Indian culture. I'm not even just saying that. I like yoga. I like meditation. I like paneer. I like tikka masala. I love all of that. I'm not even just saying that to be funny. I really, truly like that stuff. But this woman, Farah, who I have had a debate with, she's going viral from this resurfaced clip where she's getting hated on for being Indian. And she says that, well, Mom, we wouldn't have cows. Well, come to find out, cow poop and having cows in your house is actually just a normal part of Indian culture. Let's play the clip.
Even someone as white passing as me has received Indian racism online. Okay, Kumar, if her parents didn't immigrate here, she'd be sleeping in cow shit with no rights. The irony. Hi, Mom.
Hey.
I got...
Ready for
Go ahead. I got a racist comment. Do you want to hear it?
What is it?
If her parents did not immigrate here, she would be sleeping in cow shit with no rights. The irony.
You will be sleeping in what?
In cow shit with no rights. The irony.
Oh, okay.
Is that true?
Cow shit? What does that mean?
They're saying if I was still in India with you, we would be sleeping with cows and shit. But you didn't have cows in your house, right?
We did have cows in our house. So big deal.
I have to go.
Yeah.
Guys, this is not a right-wing conspiracy. You guys have cows in your house, and I love cows. I'll allow it. So, I don't know. We shouldn't be ashamed of who we are. I'm not ashamed that I'm one of the sexiest men in conservative politics. So, you shouldn't be ashamed that your mom had cows in your house that pooped and peed, and then they drank and ate it. Potentially, maybe, allegedly. All right, guys, what a great episode. But I need to keep going. The night is not over. It's just almost before midnight, and I got a lot of work to do. So how am I going to stay up, you might be asking? Well, I've told you this all episode long. I'm drinking Soldier Fuel. That's what I'm drinking. And Soldier Fuel is one of the best tasting 0 calorie, 0 sugar energy. Actually, 5 calories, 5 calories per can, 0 sugar. And it tastes delicious. A lot of these, energy drinks, they kind of taste a little off. This does not taste off. You've seen me shotgun 2 of these. And you know what I got to do? I got to go for shotgun number 3. But before I shotgun it, I wanted to let you know that you can get Soldier Fuel right now at buysoldierfuel.com. And if you use the promo code REALAmerica, all one word, you get 15% off your first order. So do it for me. Do it for the Pimp on a Blimp. We want people to use that promo code. And thank you guys for watching. I want to say a lot from Timcast. You suck, dude. And you deserve to be shamed and humiliated forever. Especially, you're probably not as bad as a transgender shooter, but you're very close. And rest in peace to the family of the transgender shooter. I hate that they were brutally murdered. But when a transgender shoots somebody, I got to stay alert. And this is what I do. I got my Soldier Fuel. Okay, let me, third time's a charm. Okay, this time I think we got the least amount of liquid spilled. Okay, that's good. Now, if I got to find this thing. All right, guys, this is my 3rd energy drink, and it tastes good. It goes down smooth. Ooh, I love Soldier Fuel. I love Soldier Fuel! Thank you guys for watching. I have too much energy. That's After Hours with Alex Stein. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow night, Wednesday, 11 p.m. Eastern, After Hours with Alex Stein on Real America's Voice. 99 on the grind all the time. Ukraine and I go insane.
Real America's Voice is growing, and now it's all in one place. Introducing the new and improved RAV app, built for access, community, and choice, not paywalls. Here's the key. RAV is still free to watch. No sign-in, no membership required. Your favorite live streams, breaking coverage, and video on demand are all right there. Free, just like always.
For the War Room Posse, we have to be a force multiplier on this. We have to stick the landing.
In the White House, in the Oval Office, you're crushing it, my friend.
And if you want more, the members section is your backstage pass. Get exclusive behind-the-scenes photos and videos, insider moments from the studio and the field, and early access to new content before it goes public. Members can also unlock special experiences like virtual meet and greets, member-only auctions, and select event access, plus commercial-free viewing of certain shows inside the app. It's not just an app, it's a community. Download the RAV app today. Find it in the App Store and Google Play.
Welcome to Real America's Voice, Real Minute. Your quick look at the powerful stories of faith and freedom, inspiring audiences across the nation. Angel Studios presents.
I'm Bo Davidson with this Real America's Voice, Real Minute. Most people know the biblical story of David, the shepherd boy who fought Goliath and became king. Well, Angel Studios has created a new animated film called David that tells the story of Israel's greatest king.